I am the caterpillar that thought its world was about to end. And just before I gave up, just before I gave in, I awoke as a beautiful butterfly. I am the butterfly. My name is Wamunga. I'll explain. All of my life, since I can remember, I've always thought I was special. I've always believed I was destined for more. I've always imagined myself in some sort of grandeur, you know? And it didn't help that I watched all these Disney-type movies, fantasy movies, where something magical or unexplainable happens to the main character when they turn 18, and all of a sudden flies into their room and tells them they were destined for greatness. They're supposed to climb some mountain and discover something. Or when they're 8, something else happens to them and it changes their destiny. So I always believed there was a destiny for me. And as the significant years, according to the Disney movies and the fantasy movies, as they kept rolling by, I kept asking myself, why is nothing happening? I mean, I'm destined for greatness. Why is nothing happening? On my 8th birthday, we were living in Mombasa at the time. My mom wanted us to go to the beach. And I refused profoundly. I said, no, what if we go to the beach and an owl comes to drop off a letter to say that I'm meant to go to some school or something like that for witches or wizards or something like that. And we had to have the party at home. And as you guessed it, nothing happened. So as the years went on, I kept wondering to myself, when is this amazing thing going to happen? When is it going to happen to me? And when I turned 18, I thought, this is it. I mean, after 18, what's next? When is the next significant year? If it's not 21, then it's 30, so I'm doomed. I have 2 significant ages in which something amazing and magical has to happen to me, or else my life is over. So when I turned 19, I was like, okay, I have 21 and I have 30. So I have 2 more dates. And because of that, and I let it get to my head so much that there's something out there that has to happen to me. I went through, my mom likes to call it an end-of-teen crisis. She's very polite when she says that. I went through anxiety, depression, and all those negative emotions that you can imagine are related to, firstly, I had my teenage hormones. Secondly, something amazing was supposed to happen to me, but it's not happening. Thirdly, my life, well, I thought it sucked. That's what I thought. And as I turned 21, I realized I only had 9 years left because nothing amazing, so I thought, had happened to me. So I have only 9 years in which I'm supposed to do this amazing or something magical will happen to me. So in those 9 years, I decided to do things. I was like, I will not wait for something. It will find me already doing something. So when I started university, I joined the debate club. I joined all these different societies. I started competing. I changed courses. I went in as a marine biologist, and I graduated as a lawyer. Through all that, I was just looking for this opportunity. I was like, it will find me halfway. It will find me ready. Maybe I'm supposed to win. Maybe I'm supposed to win an award, so I would compete in everything that had an award to win. Maybe I'm supposed to be a great leader, so I stood for, you name it. Maybe I'm supposed to be a great volunteer, so I volunteered in all the different organizations at my university in South Africa. And as my life went on, I managed to travel the world through school as well as through what my mom does, as well as just for fun. And I got to see new people. I got to make new friends from different areas. I got to have new experiences. And on my 29th birthday, which is last year, by the way, it dawned on me that I was actually living an extraordinary life. I was actually living a magical life. And it was all because of me. I was the one who was making all these things happen. And yet I was busy looking out there for something amazing to happen to me. So with that realization, I decided 30 is the year. 30 is do or die. So on my 29th birthday, I decided to do everything that I wanted to do. I've always thought of changing my name. I've always thought of going to new places that weren't yet on my list. I've thought of doing ABCD. I've wanted to go back to my hometown, which is Mbale in Eastern Uganda. So I started visiting my hometown more and more. And as I visited it, I started making friends. And we started discussing how beautiful my hometown is. And one thing led to another. And alas, I realized what my destiny was. So slowly, I've been moving out of the legal practice and focusing more on tourism, and starting with an organization called Sukali, which has, it's a backpackers, tour hostel, restaurant. And through that, I get to meet so many people and get to share so many ideas. And more, I begin to realize that I am the momentum. I am the force. I am the one who determines what happens to me. So what I would like to say is that stop looking out there for something magical to happen to you. All you have to do is believe in magic. And it's right within you. Thank you for listening.